Y'all are.
Okay, well, I'm beyond ready, and this is actually really the first time that I've ever had sunglasses on during a podcast.
Really?
And seriously,
How does it feel? It feels a little weird, don't it?
it feels very extremely weird.
Like you almost want to take them off,
You know,
or
yeah,
adjust them, or move
kinda
them.
a little bit, but you know, I've actually thought about it the other day. Whenever I went to go pick up a pizza, whenever I went in there, I caught myself taking my glasses off because I was inside.
Because you're inside, yeah.
And but I kind of wanted to keep them on for convenience. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to look the person in the face whenever I talked to
Right.
them.
Have you ever had somebody like
You know?
confront you about having glasses on inside?
Yeah.
Nah, because I don't wear glasses inside.
I do.
Every now and then.
You do?
I do all the time. All the time.
I mean, yeah.
See, you
well,
wear sunglasses often, though, don't you?
yeah. Quite
I
a
mean,
bit often,
if you think about it, though, every now and then, you know,
I forget they're on.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for even like people that wear hats consistently, or even wear like it's the same as for sunglasses, like it's just a part of your apparel in a way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
no.
for people that are blue collar and they work outside all the time and shit. So like they constantly have eye protection on. So like going inside and outside wearing glasses or sunglasses, regardless of what it is, it's just like they always got glasses on.
You know, some people have those tinted glasses. I like those
the ones
too.
that change automatically.
Yeah. Those are really
Prescription
cool.
tinted glasses.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people who wear glasses actually don't find those very appealing.
Really?
Yeah,
God.
everybody that I've
seen
really,
it in those types of people.
except for like, you know, well,
Like I haven't
yeah.
never seen somebody wearing tinted glasses without having like a prescription.
Well, they
for
also have
glasses.
the other types of tinted glasses where the shade on the glasses, like if you look up in these, like it's faded. It's
yeah.
a faded tint.
So it's kind of like
So it's darker
distilled
up top
in
than
a way.
it is down here, but down here is like a tint.
Jonas
it's like a
just
lighter
got some
tint.
glasses to wear to work because he works on the computer a
blue
lot.
light
They're the
filter
blue
glasses.
light glasses.
Yeah. So when you're
Ooh.
working, on your computer for a long period of time,
Yeah.
blue light blocks your brain from producing certain chemicals that make you sleepy.
Yeah, melatonin.
Yep. So if you have a phone that has a blue light filter, use it because it will help. If you're, everybody likes to put on their phone before they go to bed.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot of people say that you shouldn't look at any sort of blue light an hour before you go
Yeah.
to bed
Yeah.
or go to sleep.
Yeah, because
Right.
it messes with the brain's way to produce the melatonin.
For
I'm
sure.
honestly like I put the blue light glasses that he had bought for work, and it does like it dilutes the feel of like your eyes on the screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can't say it made my head feel bit different, but I could tell the difference between looking at shit on the screen through the blue light and without the blue light. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well-
almost like your eyeballs focus on the light a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the blue light definitely helps. You do need to
And they're
stop
not
doing that.
necessarily they're not
yeah.
tinted, but they're almost like they
Definitely.
got an effect on your lens in a way.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
fix your blue light, bro. No more blue
Yeah.
light for you.
Yeah, no more blue light, folks.
Yeah.
Glasses,
Me or you.
turn on the filters.
Turn on the filters,
It's-
put on some glasses.
Like it would be so helpful for somebody like you.
Go
'cause,
outside and
you're
get some
always looking at
natural.
a computer editing,
Yeah.
and
Seriously, all the time.
or like even consuming social media.
I know. I actually have it down on a list somewheres that I need to buy them. I
Yeah.
have like a whole bunch of different
Jonas
lists.
got his for like $25.
Yeah, they have them at Walmart really cheap.
You got
Oh yeah, you can get them cheaper for that. cheaper
As
than
of
that.
now.
He
Well,
the
Black
reason he
Friday and
spent
Cyber
that much on
Monday's coming,
his was
so-
because he got like an actual like frame set. You know what I'm saying? Something that looked good if he
Yeah.
was like to go to work or have to use
Yeah,
them.
they look like actual reading glasses or something nice kind of. They're really nice framed and everything.
Like they look like a prescription set of
Yeah.
glasses, but it's because you know what I'm saying. Like for somebody that uses that for work,
All right, here's the thumbnail.
easy.
Hell yeah.
But
Wave myself down. It's right here. The thumbnail's here.
I thought you looked at the time.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could. Listen, man. You know, those glasses are going to be cheap until Trump gets in there and slaps those tariffs on all the China
he's
products.
supposed to be doing a lot of like nice shit, but
Well,
like if he's slapping
yeah.
tariffs on China products and we get most of our shit from China, does that mean we're gonna start changing where we get our shit from?
Most
No.
likely,
We're gonna
some
start making
places.
it here, a lot
yeah,
of it. We're gonna try to.
That's supposed to be the incentive. Is that
Kind of like I was going to order some shit off of Amazon, like some shelves and shit. And T makes them, like he 3D
I can 3D
prints.
print them for you pretty easily.
Yeah, and it would be a hell of a lot cheaper than me ordering it on Amazon.
Well,
So
it's supposed to.
that's what
it's
he's trying
supposed
to do, like
increase
get more
incentive
like
too.
Americans to do
Yeah,
things for themselves in a
built
way.
here, built here. That way,
Exactly.
You know, and that's what
The money circulating.
American made.
Yeah, well, because
He's trying to build the strength of our country
back up to what
in
it
a way,
was.
right?
Yeah,
Is that
trying
what?
to
It,
get
I mean,
us-
that's the way I look at it in
'cause
a way.
even like during COVID and stuff like penicillin and other things like that were hard to get because we don't have, well, I think one factory in the whole United States that makes penicillin.
Oh wow,
all over,
really?
all overseas. Yeah, those
I
are
didn't know that.
antibiotics. Yeah, those are all our antibiotics and stuff.
Have y'all seen where like Ozempic is becoming popular?
Yeah, it was a weight loss drug for like Hollywood and stuff. Like they're saying
They've
like a lot of
explained
people
in our
on it.
insurance policies
There's
at
a lot of
work
people-
that Ozempic is part of the reason why we pay so high for like deductible style insurance, because you pay a deductible for something that costs so many thousands of dollars, but because you're a part of that plan, they have to pay for it. So in return, it rises our insurance plan to cost a little bit more to cover for what they have to pay for themselves.
But half
Wow.
those medications are $5 to make. You know?
Yeah,
Honestly, in a lab,
like
yeah.
the EpiPens and stuff like that, when they shot them up to $700 a piece.
Oh yeah, no,
like I
that's
bought the
crazy.
Jonas was telling us, we got our homeboy Jonas. He's dealing with like ulcerative colitis.
Ulcerative colitis, yeah.
And he got a medicine that he was prescribed, and when he went to get it, it was like $1,000 for like 2 months worth.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And he ended up like talking to his insurance and shit,
Getting a
and getting
generic-
prescribed
That's lower generic.
a lower
dose.
dose of it for like a couple $100.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it
So
was
it's-
generic too.
How do you go from $1,000 to a couple $100 over the same medicine, just in a different dosage? You get what I'm saying?
I was going to say, weirdly enough, that's what kind of Trump said about too. He's going to try to get under these medical.
Yeah,
medical
RFK
stuff.
Jr.
Yeah, get this medical stuff.
I heard there was
fixed.
somebody that was underneath him that was saying like the GMO products and shit that we're consuming and getting, that he's trying to completely get rid of
Yeah.
and make
RFK
it.
Jr. That's
Yep,
what I
yeah,
was saying to
yeah.
you about. That's who wrote this book. The book
Yeah.
that I was telling you about. This one
Yeah,
right
man.
here, bro. You ever
That's the
seen
reason
this
I
shit?
was like, I love people are talk so much shit about Trump,
RFK
but like
Jr.
Is that-
he's pulled up a whole cabinet of
Is
good
that
people, man.
Is that John F. Kennedy's son?
This
right?
is John F. Kennedy's nephew.
Yeah.
He wrote this book, and
Didn't
you
his
should
son
read
get
this.
killed?
This is not a paid sponsor, but it is a sponsor of some sort.
Didn't John F. Kennedy's son, like he was second coming running for president too and shit? He got assassinated.
That was his dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
That was
son.
his dad. Yep.
Yeah, and his brother got shot. Like a lot of the Kennedys ended up all getting killed and stuff.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
ever investigate that as like a
Oh,
There-
it's-
well,
it's-
Trump said that he would release the files.
Yeah, the JFK
Well,
files.
he said that he would, but then he also said that there's people that are still living
Alive
that it will
that he could
affect.
incriminate.
Yeah.
Exactly, it would affect people alive right now.
So
So, he
he was
wants to
pretty much
wait
saying,
until those
like,
people die.
9 times out of 10, those people are older and higher, and during his term, it could happen, or during his life, it could happen.
I'm just ready to see the
Yeah.
Diddy list.
Oh yeah, the Diddy list.
I'm just ready to see the
Ep-
Diddy list.
The Epstein
They
list.
said Trump
Yeah.
was on the Epstein
The
list.
Epstein list is going to be released. He was only on the Epstein list
Once,
because.
he went there one time and
Well, no,
after
he
that-
didn't. I don't even think that he went there.
He did. I think he went
They had
once.
pictures of him together.
Re-
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they might not have been
I
at the
don't-
party.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that he was there on the island.
No.
But he used the plane.
Yeah.
That
Use Epstein's
That was
plane
on
yeah,
or
well,
something.
a lot of people will use, especially billionaires and
Yeah, yeah.
multi-billionaires,
They use the same,
use the different
the flight,
yeah, different.
Well, they on the
private
plane and be
plane.
like,
they
hey,
use different planes,
I
but they
need
use the
leave
same
here.
flight, not flight attendant,
Yeah.
but pilot.
Like,
Well,
yo,
yeah.
I'm here and your plane's here.
Can I use it to go
Can I
here?
use-
This
Exactly.
is a famous, trusted pilot. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Nah, just super rich. Hey, can I borrow your plane to fly there? Yeah, cool,
Seriously.
you're good. Yeah, it's
And
like
that's
borrowing
exactly
a
what
car to
happens.
them, or because they got 20. It's like it's no problem. Which one you want to take?
Ah, yeah.
shit like that.
Whichever one that you want. Yeah, well, the Epstein list, man, that is. That's gonna be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That's gonna be really well. All the
Epstein
files.
did not kill himself.
He didn't.
I remember
Nope.
seeing a video of him in a plane saying that shit. Like, I
Ooh.
did not kill Jeffrey Epstein, saying like, if anything happens, I did not kill myself.
Yeah.
But that was years ago. I don't know. Like, I didn't even know about the whole case and shit like that at all. I think it was around the time that he died, because what was crazy to me is he died, and then like a year or two later, then they start talking about the case and the files and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
What
not
happened to his
saying
wife?
that they weren't talking about it, but it didn't necessarily get publicized till like a long while after he passed away.
Well,
Yeah.
once they start getting caught, once people like that start getting caught, then everybody that has been around them their whole entire life, their whole entire
They get
famous
quiet.
life, no, they start to diss them. Not only get quiet, because a lot of them do get quiet, but if they get quiet, then that means
They're guilty.
that means that
Very.
They're opening the door for other people to depict what their role in it was.
Yeah, so if you don't say anything about it, then other people are automatically going to assume what happened to
Yep.
them,
Yeah.
and assume that they was automatically involved
Kinda
in
like
it
the
just
whole
because they was
Justin
around
Bieber.
them, and they
Yeah.
haven't said that they didn't do it, so then they must have did it.
Nah.
I guess guilty until proven innocent.
I feel like that's
Justin
why
was
Justin
taking-
Bieber
yeah.
hasn't explained himself in the whole Diddy case, because he was a victim.
He
You
was.
know
You
what
see,
I'm
he's
saying?
listened to some
Yeah.
of his songs,
And
man.
bro,
They're
you
sad
can
as
remember,
fuck. Man.
There's a bunch
me
of
telling you
videos,
years
man.
ago, or at least a year ago, like Justin Bieber was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, y'all was like, "What are you talking about?" And then,
I don't think I remember you saying that.
bro, I swear,
No, but
because
it's
I was
always,
I was a believer.
It's always been like somewhat.
Yeah, was it Corey Feldman back a long time ago was saying like there's a bunch of crazy pedophiles and all this shit's going on. Everybody said, "You're crazy, man. Nobody believes you."
Yeah.
Who's
Then he
crazy
dies
fucking now?
and shit
Yeah.
comes out. Yeah.
Man, who's he? He's alive, but who's
No,
crazy
yeah,
now?
that's the thing with
Yeah,
a
Corey
lot
Or
of
like, it's
Feldman.
Cat Williams too.
Cat
Cat
Williams
Williams.
last year, yeah, he said
Exactly.
2024
He exposed it
shits is
all.
going down. You're going to see all these people.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's really has been. He's really like all this shit's
Have y'all
going
seen
down.
the clips of
For real.
people trolling LeBron about it?
LeBron about him being on a
Yeah,
list.
Like he was recently at the Eagles game this past weekend, and a fan that was sitting underneath like his booth or whatever was filming him, and he was like, LeBron, instead of like being a fan and shit, he was like, "We know you was on the Diddy list, nigga. We know you was on the Diddy list." And like LeBron acknowledged him at first, and then after that, like he acted like he ain't had nothing to do with it or
Yeah,
whatever.
like yeah.
Dang, I wonder if he really went to the island and partied hard.
They say
definitely
say
went to those white
that, and
parties or whatever.
that's what skews it all. It'd be people that be like, they say Kobe was on it and shit like that. Like, I hate that they even bring that shit
Yeah,
up
the
because
parties.
he's not here no more.
Or
The
especially-
parties
or
are
like,
crazy.
Or like people you thought were like, like Tom Hanks and other things like that. They're on some of the, like on the list that went to Epstein's Island a lot.
They
and
bring
shit.
back old videos of them on his bed and shit like that, or like old clips of them at the party that like kind of foreshadowed what's going on right now. It makes it just seem like it's so fucking real.
Nah, for real. Yeah, there's a bunch of people on that list, and there's a bunch of people that's involved.
Would you consider that a conspiracy theory if they're actually going through like he went to jail and all that shit? Is it still a conspiracy?
No.
I mean,
No, I really don't think it is. There's a lot of conspiracy
Because when
theories.
people was talking about it,
I think
everybody
maybe
was
the
like, it's a
connections,
conspiracy.
and the assumptions between the connections that were not made very clear in the court documents. I think
Yeah.
that the speculation of it, I think, is considered a conspiracy theory.
I feel like
if it's not proven in a court of law, I guess it would be considered a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not technically proven in a court of law, but I mean the motherfuckers behind bars as
Yeah.
we speak about it. You
Well,
see
I'm
what
just saying,
And 1,000
like,
bottles of baby oil that found at his house.
Yeah.
and all, like,
that
and
had
it makes
shit
it
in
looks
it.
bad with the evidence, and then on top of that, like his son was arrested at the same time, but he's out now on bond.
I'm pretty sure that there was an interview with one of the bodyguards or one of the security guards, and
that
he was
put out
talking
all
about
the shit, and he was like, "It's real."
Yeah, he was talking about the lubrication that was found.
Yeah, thousands
All
of
the bottles of lube.
baby oil. and
Did you
shit.
hear about
And
the
Johnson
guy that put
Johnson.
out
But listen,
supposedly
bro,
the video of Meat
listen,
Meal?
they had a drug in them. the bottles of baby oil had a drug in them. It was like a party drug. It's like
But I thought you would have to consume a party drug or
it's like
consume a drug.
GHB or some shit like that.
So it was just like if it was on your skin,
Touch the skin,
like it
yeah,
would seep
it-
Yeah,
you'd
in.
seep
it
into your
soaks
skin.
into your skin exactly.
That's why I like fentanyl super scary. You get like a dust
Yeah.
on your hand and you die.
Oh no, man! They used to have the shit in like they had used to have LSD.
Mm-hmm.
in different types of.
I was going to say, weirdly enough, conspiracy theory. There were people saying they were getting drugged by the government with LSD.
Oh no!
They released the files. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, like Charles Manson.
Yeah, they were actually doing that shit.
There's a book called Chaos.
Yeah,
you ever heard of that?
Yeah,
that they talk about that. The guy interviews like 500 plus people around the Charles Manson murders to actually expose exactly what happened.
And he was taking very light doses of fentanyl.
LSD, lots.
Or like,
no,
I know y'all heard about fucking Hitler, how he was like,
oh yeah, he
was a meth head.
Oh, he got meth to all the troops. That's why they were able to run around and be all crazy.
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
for sure. Well, I'm pretty sure
meth chocolate or something like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there's a link between the ADHD medicine and like Adderall
Hard
and
drugs.
and like World War II or the Germans, the Nazis.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it wasn't even Adderall. Like it wasn't
It's straight
considered
meth.
Adderall then.
Yeah, it was amphetamines. It was
Yeah.
Adderall is amphetamine salt. Mm-hmm. That's what that is, and it's
Before a
one
doctor.
It's one small compound away from meth.
Very close.
Yeah,
Really?
But
yeah, Adderall is.
Well, that's the reason his
I'm glad
troops
I
were
don't
able to
take
stay up
Adderall,
and march
man.
for a whole
Fuck.
damn week straight and shit like that because they were all shit.
Yeah, seriously, they was.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they was like completely like. Yeah, they probably was. I think Hitler was.
Yeah.
I think he was like
He was a
fucked up
meth
off
head.
of it.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
I'm pretty sure when they killed him and shit, like it came out
I
that like
another
he had
conspiracy
so much
theory.
shit around.
Did he
him.
actually die when he said he died?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said was it suicide?
Suicide. There was never any actual pictures of the body or anything like that.
Yeah, I heard about that too. But a lot of the Nazis fled and went to like Argentina.
Yeah, it'll be pig farmers.
Yeah,
and
I don't
shit
even
down
want to
there.
get.
Yeah,
into
there's
that.
a lot of different villages.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of them that just
today
speak just German.
that just speak German in Argentina.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
man.
about that shit?
Yeah.
See, bro, like history was my least favorite subject
Oh, I love
forever and
history.
always.
Wow.
Because like I was always taught up as an African American is like they don't teach us about certain shit, and I was always on guard because every year around like Thanksgiving, like we are now, like they would always talk about the Pilgrims and the Indians and
Yeah, the
how we
Indians
were
helped
all
us and we
segregated
slaughtered
and
their
shit.
ass.
And
Yeah.
me being the only black person in my class and shit, like we would talk about some and certain things, and like everybody would just look at me to know, and I was just always so
To know what? What the
like
fuck?
like they would be like they'd be like there was segregation in the blacks and the
and then
whites.
and everybody in the class just looked at you.
Because I mean I'm the only person of race other than like Hispanics and
Yeah.
shit like that, so like they're looking at me
Oh,
to
that's
know this
wild.
information, and more or less I'm just like, nigga, I don't care just as much as y'all do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I really don't care to look and find the answers because it was such a controversial subject, especially in the area that we are, that people believe one thing. You get what I mean?
Yeah, nah,
Yeah,
for
it is.
real.
So I was just like as not intrigued as everybody else was, because I mean I was just like, I checked out in a way, like y'all are talking about this. I'm not the outlier, but that's what y'all are making me because
Oh, yeah.
everybody in here is white.
Man, all the history we've really taught's all really whitewashed. It really is. They
So
don't really
you-
tell you the real history.
So you didn't
of
like
things.
history because of that?
Yeah, I mean, I was very disinterested, not necessarily because of that, but like it was never anything that was going on in history that one I could control or
Yeah.
two I could correlate to my life at the moment. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that a lot of the history that is taught in schools
It's whitewashed.
I think that it's somewhat correct.
It is. They take out.
feel like-
They leave out a lot
Yeah,
of
but
bad
they
they
leave
don't
out a
talk
lot of
about
the
a
details.
lot
Yeah,
of
the bad
shit.
parts. They leave a lot of the bad parts out.
Because
There's
I
a lot
mean,
of
yeah.
stuff like
they can't teach it in school.
like the Indians and how we slaughtered all of them, and the
Yeah.
ones that were left, we rounded up and put on little reservations.
Yeah,
You know?
no, that is pretty crazy.
The Trail of Tears.
You know,
they don't teach you about that much.
You know, you
at
could
all.
also consider it like a necessary evil.
I
Could
mean,
you? Because
to
I
an
mean,
extent,
if
too,
if
and that's
that
the same
didn't
thing,
happen,
too. Yeah, I was gonna
we
say
wouldn't
that.
be living as comfortably as we are in a society where.
well-
there's also the argument too.
Well,
With
the argument is too is like a lot of the if you look in Indian history, a lot of the tribes and stuff, they were always fighting each other constantly.
exactly.
They would come in, wipe out all the men, take the women,
Yeah.
and if the children were so old, they'd kill them. If they were younger, they could take them. They'd take them with them and teach them.
No,
to be
they
part of their
was,
tribe.
and there was some of them tribes. They were over there sacrificing people and shit. You said
Yeah.
what, bro?
I can't chat right now.
Who
I'll
is
call you
that?
soon.
Yeah.
Hi.
Say what's up. Say what's up to chat.
What up, chat?
That actually come through pretty clean.
Hell yeah. We out here.
Yeah, that come through pretty clean.
What do you what do you
Well, y'all have fun.
All right.
He wants to ask you a question.
Yeah,
Okay, what's up?
yeah, how was your involvement with P Diddy
It's frozen. Hold on.
He said, "What was your involvement with P Diddy?"
Yeah.
Oh, personally, I didn't have any.
Nah, she's lying. Just go ahead and get her off of there, bro.
Chat, she's got.
Yeah,
She's
you're
out.
done.
Goodness.
You're
Bye.
done. That's it. Okay.
But yeah, history's whitewashed.
Yeah.
All sorts of crazy shit.
What I was
Well, hold
saying
on.
was, I feel like because a lot of people, from what I hear outside of what we were taught, was that the Pilgrims and the Indians came and found this, and then somebody else that was more structured than them came and took it from them.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about the Native Americans and about how they was like slaughtering each other.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, they very much
they
did.
were like a new age of cavemen.
They
in a
were
way.
not civilized.
No, not to an
Yeah.
extent.
There was no
They
civilization.
wanted to civilize themselves with being themselves.
There were
their
tribes
own
that were a lot
entity.
nicer that you talk to and stuff wouldn't kill you on sight and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I mean,
but
there
was
wasn't-
other tribes where you'd run up on them and they would just
Yeah,
slaughter
well, there
your
was
ass.
there was the tribes that also taught the pilgrims.
Yeah,
The
they were-
pilgrims how
yeah.
to how to farm and how to.
But
before the land was taken
but
from
you-
them
but the-
for-
the
Way of the
thing that is
land.
crazy though
Huh.
is what is it the Columbus, one of the things that he did was, of course, we were pretty advanced that age. We knew about some of the lunar cycles when there's going to be eclipses and
During,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
during the Columbus era.
Yeah, and he told one tribe of Indians, like, they were trying to give him some, they were trying to barter for food and stuff like that. And they said, oh, we only have enough for us to survive through winter. And he said, my God's going to blot out the sun in a day if you don't give me food.
Because
It's
he
like a
knew the
scare
cycles.
tactic.
He knew the eclipse
He
was
knew
coming.
the eclipse,
Yeah,
yep.
the eclipse came. They all freaked out. They all gave him tons
Wow.
of food. They sailed
I
away.
remember
and lots
this.
of them
Yeah, I
all
remember
died.
So
hearing
like
this.
that goes into like the people that were smarter than them overtaking the land because they
Yeah.
weren't a part of that culture in a way, which was
Yeah.
essentially Columbus. The white folk is what
yeah.
they.
Yeah, Columbus wasn't a good guy. Like, if you read some of his
He wasn't a
his-
good guy.
I mean, it went
was a
from
very good
pirates
guy.
on the water to pirates on the land. in a
Yeah,
way.
that's it. The conquistadors coming in.
Columbus
taking out
really
all the
wasn't a
Aztecs.
good guy.
No, he wasn't really a good.
I
guy.
did
like
not
you
know
had
that.
Blackbeard, then you had Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, Blackbeard. Isn't he from like
Yeah, he his
North
ship-
South
Carolina?
Well, that-
Carolina.
Well, a lot of them would. They like North Carolina waters because of the Outer Banks out there, and the tides would move the what is it we call it under the water, the like sand.
The
embankments.
sand.
Yeah, the sand. Some special name for it, but
They were more
They'd move
about
them.
continental, like
sediment.
they used to hide.
geographical
North
things.
Carolina, they used to hide a lot because it was hard to navigate unless you were
They
there. back and
benefited
forth
off
a lot.
of land and property and like climates and shit like that compared to where like us now we're worried about what we can do to change it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel honestly, climate change is it's pretty much
It's non-controllable, so like
No,
I hate to
it's
say
just
that
the
we should
world.
regress and worry about that more than what we do, but at the same time, if anything's changing more rapidly, that's what it is.
Climate change?
Yeah. I mean, we just
But
had
do
a
you
natural
think-
disaster in Boone in the western region
Yeah.
that we never would have planned or thought about, and it's
was a-
changing so much.
it was a once in a 1,000-year storm.
Yeah, it's having
Yeah.
so much governmental change now on the after effects because it's done and over with.
Yeah.
But we never planned for that because it was
But
never
we
an
didn't
issue.
think it was ever an issue. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't know that the low pressure was going to push a big ass storm down on top of us, had
and
to sit for a whole
landslides
day,
yeah.
was going to
Have
take
to
out a
s-
whole community.
have that storm sit on top of us for a whole day. It rained for almost 24 hours straight from a totally different storm other than the hurricane.
Right.
We got 10, 11 inches of rain from that storm alone. That's a crazy storm.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
the next day, a fucking hurricane comes through.
Nah, for real. So do you think that is, do you think that is man-made because of man?
Governmental control. You can't change the weather, but
is
at the
close.
same
No,
time, there's a reason
I'm
why
not
we
talking
don't
about
weather
that.
about it.
I'm not talking about
I
that.
mean, worry about it.
Why you don't weather about it?
Yeah, the weather about
I mean, just like we was both
Don't
explaining,
weather
like
about it.
we never were prepared for something like that going
No.
on.
Yeah.
But if you think about it governmentally, we were
That's
never
not what I'm
taught to
talking
prepare
about.
for
I'm
that.
talking about. Do you think that
The government
the
did
human?
it.
I'm talking about the humans.
Yeah, the
Do you think that
CO2. What we're doing is
humans in
making the
general-
storms worse.
Oh,
Is
that's
that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. I'm saying is that the contributing factor
Are
to
we making
why
it
we are
seem worse
getting
than
this
what it
weather
is,
that we
or
are? Yeah, is it
Is
really
there
that
things
bad?
that we're doing that's making it?
Is the people that are doing the things that they're doing, like, for example, using the fossil fuels, as they say using the fossil fuels and it's burning up and it's killing the atmosphere and whatnot, and it's making the weather change.
Well, the ozone layer's healing itself. It's actually tons better. And we
Yeah.
haven't really
I think
done a lot
that's
for
a
it.
I've heard about
controversial
that.
way
I've
for
heard
us
about
to try to
that.
blame each other for not preparing for
'cause
things that
people-
could happen to anybody.
Because there might be, like, I think that there's two sides of the equation, and then people have the same mindset about, like, what the problems are. So one of the biggest problems that people are concerned about is climate change.
Yeah.
But I don't think that people understand why there's climate change.
I think it's just
And
the
I think that I'm
world-
one of those people.
It's just the world going through its natural cycles.
Because-
we can look back
Yeah.
and see where it's gotten hot or
The
it's
reason
gotten
why
colder.
I feel that way is because, like, just like you were saying, you feel that way 9 times out of 10 is because you genuinely don't care. Because nothing that you do on a daily basis do you feel
No.
like by yourself
And
you
these
can change.
And these
Yeah.
rich fucks on jets driving and flying around telling me that I need to help with climate change.
Yeah.
Trying
And
and
kiss
testing
my
out
ass.
shit.
Yeah, that's
and they're
crazy.
flying around on planes and shit that put.
They're
Yeah.
spending borrowed money.
Yeah.
I think that there's still, like, there's still good ways to, help the
Yeah.
environment.
The thing
Most
with
definitely,
recycling
and
is kinda
improve the air that you
Yeah,
breathe.
for sure. But at the
Yeah.
same time, me living a straight and strict narrow to change that
Yeah.
is not going to make you do it.
No.
And
Oh,
me
yeah.
doing that every day is not going to change the world because everybody doesn't feel exactly how I do.
Exactly. And one of the other problems is the cost of energy as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're
So,
talking-
like fossil fuels is
it's cheaper right
like
now.
net cheaper than
Yeah.
Okay, so like
what
so
it would be
when
to-
I went to Cali, my homeboy KJ, he went from paying a power bill to he has solar power
Yeah.
at his house now, and the government pays him every month to have solar power.
I heard about
And
that.
they were
you
explaining
get,
how it was
tax
going to be
breaks.
something that moved. You get tax breaks for it, and he was saying it was going to be something that moved from the West Coast to the East Coast because who wouldn't want to get paid for using solar energy, but it benefits something way greater than what we're doing it for. But that's the way they push the agenda. You see what I'm saying? And because we do pay for solar energy and shit, we shouldn't expect for other changes to happen. Like Duke Power and Duke Energy are not going to be making their money off of us anymore. So intentionally, they're going to start making money off of solar cars.
Well, I
and
think solar is
vehicles
great
and
in
people
certain
changing shit that
circumstances,
we
but
use other
and that
than
and
our
more
house.
and more cleaner energy is still nuclear power.
Oh yeah.
The cost it makes to make those panels and stuff is
It's tens of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars, bro.
Yeah.
not
thousands of
millions.
dollars.
Most
but
definitely
the
nuclear energy.
Nuclear is the cleanest
It's
form
infinite.
of energy we have.
Yeah, like once
For
it's
sure.
there, like you might spend tens of thousands of dollars to get it there, but once it's there, you can't say that like without sun you're not going to benefit. So
Yeah.
they're going to start trying to regulate that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why like solar's good and
Yeah.
all in certain situations. Like you're in the middle of nowhere where you can't get anything. Yeah, solar
Yeah,
is the
for
way
sure.
to go. But if I'm
They try to
close and I'm on the
promote things
lines,
to be easier, but realistically, if shit was as easy as they try to make it to be, we would overpopulate ourselves, and there would
Easy.
we're
be
already
an
getting there. We
abundance.
went
What do you
from
mean
6
by
billion to
easy?
9 billion in 10
When I say
20 years.
easy, it's just like solar power is a whole lot easier than generated power that we create. You know what I'm saying?
No,
We're pretty
I don't
much-
think so.
Mm-mm.
No.
The cost to make the solar panels and the minerals
Yeah.
and stuff it takes to
Nah.
make them is really high.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But what I'm saying
it's
is like,
definitely
once,
cheaper.
like you spend the
That's
abundance
why-
of money for you to have it, but once it's there,
Well, you gotta
like
use
you
it for
can't
so
take
long,
away
too.
the sun.
Well, if it's cheaper for everybody, then everybody would have solar
Mm-hmm.
panels.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people are working on it.
But it doesn't really preserve that much energy.
Like, it's a prominent-
it only works whenever the sun's out. If the sun
Exactly,
doesn't
but
shine, then you have to
that's
use
life,
regular
you know what I'm
electricity.
saying? Like we're not in an area where we're go 0 dark 30.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in a week, even if we have a terrible rainstorm, the sun's gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you say the
The
same
sun's
thing, but
gonna
there's a lot of people that
come.
live out in the woods where there's, trees everywhere and stuff.
Some people just live out
And
in
shit
the
like
sticks,
that,
bro.
and I think everything feeds into fucking everything. Like if you do solar panels, people that
Everything.
live in the woods, climate change, they got to cut down the trees.
Yeah.
Less oxygen.
They
You know
gotta
what I'm
cut
saying?
down the trees.
Strangely
I mean,
enough,
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
more trees today than there was 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's what they say. I've heard about that.
Yep, and I remember when I was in school and shit, they was talking about we need to save the trees because we print so much fucking paper to do schoolwork and shit. Now
Let's
everything's
plant
digital.
some more trees.
Yeah, now
bro.
everything's fucking digital, so we
Yeah.
don't need to cut down the trees to make fucking
Nope.
paper.
Literally, let's just plant some more.
Yeah, and weirdly, if you think about it, trees are farming us. We breathe off CO2 that they thrive off of.
You said about those two different
Exactly.
trees back from California. You like trees are actually cool. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I
Trees
wanted
are
to go to
dope.
school for agriculture, so like
That I was saying about in California.
They're like bonsai trees. Them
The
things are cool as
redwood
shit.
trees.
Yeah,
Redwood.
Great
Yes,
redwoods. That
I've
are
never seen them before in person.
Dude.
Never have I ever.
Scary. They're so big.
I bet so.
Seth, his home, Seth.
Yeah.
he bought a couple redwood like plants, like trees to plant for.
Yeah,
down
he
here
got
in
them from
North Carolina.
California, and they're
1,000
like
years
in a
from now they'll get gigantic.
they're like in a small bottle, and it's got something in it that's preserving
Oh, it's a
it.
sealed system, probably. It's a sealed ecosystem, probably.
Yeah, and then he just plants it, and then it'll fucking grow.
Yeah, and
I
it's-
So
wonder
by
if
the
they're
time we're
aviars.
like in our 50s
I
and
don't
60s,
know.
it'll be a pretty decent sized tree. But
Yeah, it won't
our
be that big.
grandparents and shit, our grandkids
Our
and
great
shit.
grandchildren will probably see how big they
Yeah.
are to an extent. Actually, our great grandchildren.
That's how long it takes to grow.
Yeah, thousands of years.
Wow, I wonder how big it would get in our lifetime, though.
It'd get pretty big, I would imagine.
It'd be
but-
bigger than the
Yeah.
trees around here, like the oaks and shit like
Yeah,
that.
but I don't even know if they'll grow around here. That's the thing too.
That's what
Certain
I'm saying.
things.
He's building it in like an ecosystem. Like he's actually trying to maintain it and make sure it grows. But it's beyond once it becomes a big tree, you can't really do that.
No, that's it too. Well,
yeah.
the thing is too is a lot of things like trees, plants, other things. They'll grow as big as their environment is. And
Yep.
the more room they have, the bigger they'll grow.
So 9 times out of 10, it'll be a
Yeah,
real
for
thick
sure.
tree, but it won't be
Yeah, it won't be very
lanky
big.
and tall. Like it might be a backyard tree that's got a big ass stump.
Like bonsai trees, any tree can technically be a bonsai tree. It's just
What does that even mean?
It makes it a miniature version of it, so it looks like a fully grown tree, but
Oh.
it's miniature pretty
Yeah,
much.
like you put things in ecosystems and climates that they're not around.
Yeah, and
like
well, you
a
just-
shark.
And you take wires and
Whoa.
stuff and bend
Fish
the limbs
tanks.
how you want, and so when you take them off and it's grown that way, they'll stay that way. Stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why it's.
I did not know how that
It takes
worked.
hundreds of years sometimes to get like giant big bonsais.
uh,
That's why it takes hundreds of years to do.
wow! I
Have you-
did
it's
not
the
know
same
that that's
with
how that
everything
worked.
in environments. Like, have you not ever had a fish that's not from around here, or like fish that are very combative? So they tell you like you can't put this
Fish.
fish and this fish in the same.
Yeah, you can't put
Oh,
the same fish in the
yeah.
same tank that
Or
eat
like
each
they
other.
got to be in a
Each
certain
other,
amount,
yeah.
certain ecosystem of water, or
Yeah,
they got to have a
seriously.
certain amount of plants and shit.
They do.
Or invasive species.
It's the same with plants and even
Same
animals.
thing with plants. Same thing with animals.
same thing that's getting scary
Mhm.
now.
Same
is,
things with people.
Those monkeys
Yeah.
that got
Well,
that
the
escaped
monkeys that
that zoo,
escaped, yeah,
and
they
now
caught
they're in
one.
South Carolina
They
and
caught
Charlotte.
one so
I
far.
heard
and
about that shit, bro.
Exactly,
And then
like
all the
they're not
pythons
from
and
around
Everglades.
these parts, so more like if they reproduce, they're
They
going to
start
be
reproducing.
defensive as fuck because they're not from here.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of things like that, like kudzu.
Yeah. The what is it? Chinese or something? Gave
Yeah,
it to us.
something
They call
as
them
like
invasive
a-
species.
Well, they gave it to us as like a
Yeah.
road controller, like a
Yeah,
way to
I
control
think that
like
it was like a
erosion.
bug.
Stink bugs.
Erosion.
It was stink bugs.
Oh no,
Or
it brought
erosion.
stink bugs.
Yeah, and it was an erosion.
That's what it was.
It's supposed to be
And the
erosion control on
mosquitoes was
roads.
what regulated
Yeah.
them.
When we're building roads, it helps. It grows really fast, so it helps with erosion control.
Oh yeah,
That's
but
what I
it
think they did. for
spreads.
it. Yeah, then it spreads. They were-
Easy to cut down
And it
too. Like they
brings-
bring those bush hogs on the fucking hills and shit and just
Mm-hmm.
push them all off and yeah.
But yeah, it's an
But
invasive
they-
species, and we have hundreds of them now, where people release things like
Yeah, there's like
pythons,
bugs, pythons.
in the Everglades. Man, they are decimating the entire ecosystem. They're eating the alligators.
Are you
eating the-
serious?
Yeah, dude.
Whoa, in
Have you
where?
never seen a python with
Everglades
an
in
alligator
Florida.
in his belly?
Yeah, like
No.
some of these pythons are getting
They
25,
eat
30
deers.
foot long, man.
They
I've
can
heard
eat
about
us.
those. I've seen those
Yeah,
videos
they're
where
eating they're eating alligators now. Big
yeah,
alligators.
I think that I've seen it where like deer. I've definitely seen the ones with the deers, but alligators is insane.
Yeah,
dude.
you're talking 5-6 foot alligators.
But
Are
it's
eating
like
and catching and eating.
the alligator, the way they
That's crazy.
defend shit is they snap and they roll for a python that it lives in water, you can snap their body in half, and as long as their head and shit's still there, they can still move.
Yeah,
you know what I
pythons.
mean?
Some of those pythons are huge.
They'll
you're
wrap
talking
around
25, 30 foot.
They
I mean,
cut your
they'll eat
circulation
you.
off completely.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I don't. Do they strike as much as
No,
other
they
snakes?
they wrap around you, and
Yeah,
they
of
squeeze you
course I know
so
that.
big.
They'll still strike
They'll still
you.
strike and grab and then start wrapping.
But are
again.
they aggressively striking? Like,
Only if they're hungry.
oh, only if they're hungry.
Only if they're hungry. And a lot of them, when they eat a big meal, sometimes they won't eat for 2 or 3 months.
Oh, yeah, because they have to digest
They have
all
to
of that.
digest, and it takes
a long
forever.
time.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. Like I went camping a few months ago in Elkin, and it wasn't pythons that I seen, but I seen an abundance of copperheads at this particular place
Well,
that I was at.
that's North Carolina for you.
Yeah,
we have,
copperheads,
We have
for
a lot of the most dangerous snakes, spiders, plants
For sure.
that are in the United States, right here in this state.
I haven't seen a copperhead in a long ass time.
At this particular place, bro, I seen like 5 in a 2-day span.
Yeah, and that's scary because they are so
And
well
it was
blended in.
it was a tourist attraction in a way. So like a lot of people were there and like playing in the
copperheads.
water.
Oh
and
no,
shit.
hell no!
And that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you catch
Before
'em?
I got in the water, I looked up if they could swim. They're not underwater creatures. They don't attack
No.
in the water, but they do swim.
They do
in the
swim.
water.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Because I seen
top of
like
water
2 or
snakes.
3 on like the bank that I was at,
Like
and
water
I was-
moccasins.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was
water
gonna
moccasins
get in the
are in
middle
the
of the water to
water,
stay away from them. And right when I was getting ready to get in the water, I seen one swimming in the water too.
yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, it's time to get the
Actually,
fuck
I
up
have
outta
heard
here.
of that, and I think that I've seen a copperhead before in the water.
Yeah, they swim on
swimming.
top of the water.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I've
That
seen
and
that.
They're top
rattlesnakes.
water swimmers.
Yeah, they
'cause
swim on the top
They
water.
can drown,
Yeah.
but like that still doesn't keep them from defending themselves in the water. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Copperheads
and
are scary.
any
Yeah,
fucking
those are
bite from
scary.
a copperhead, you like he was saying, like
You're probably gonna die
within 30 minutes to an hour. You have to seek medical help.
Yeah,
or
you got to
are
get
in
anti
danger.
venom or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why they're so scary around.
You might
here,
have to
like-
have your whole entire leg
Yeah,
chopped
and
off.
in places like that, like where they do hide, you have to get airlifted and shit if shit gets bad, and it makes it 10 times harder. You
and like
see what I
brown
mean?
recluses.
Brown recluses are very
Black
dangerous. around here.
widows.
Yeah, what is it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
black widows
gosh,
are nasty.
man.
When I went and helped
Scary.
Monton and his family demolish their damn building,
Building had a bunch in there.
they had like 3 or 4 came out at one time. And I was like,
Black
holy
widows.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're scary,
hell
man.
no.
They're like,
Yeah, those
shit.
are
And if I
very
was
scary.
like for a lot of people that do commercial jobs, they will charge you for that in general, like the danger that
Hazard
they,
fee.
Yeah, it's a hazard fee. Like if there is black widows or copperheads or anything that could kill me in here besides doing my job, I
Wow.
have to charge you a certain amount to do it.
I'm gonna say weirdly enough, that's why I like if you run up on a rattlesnake, at least it'll let you know it's there. Copperhead, you'll walk
Yeah.
up, and you don't even know it's there.
don't even
get
know.
strike.
Yep.
Next thing you
a
know, you're
black
like, oh,
widow, like it could crawl on you without you ever even
no,
noticing the
you
shit.
feel a little bite or like a bug bite.
Man,
beside you.
And that's a big fear. Like if you don't know what's going on with you,
Yeah.
until you figure it out, you're not gonna take safety precautions that
No.
you need to. And if it's something like that, like a copperhead or a black widow that bites you and you don't see it or something, it could be deadly as fuck.
I seen a copperhead strike at my dad one time. We was out on the
Fast as fuck,
4-wheeler.
bro.
Seriously, we was out on the 4-wheeler and it was in the way, and he wasn't trying to run it over. And
He
he
was
trying to
trying
get
to
it
get by it.
just sitting there waiting for it to go
yeah,
away.
and but it wouldn't. So
Very
then
territorial.
He had to get a stick,
yeah, and-
to move it out of the trail. And then whenever he did, it struck at him. But luckily he had the stick up. But he was still pretty close to it.
yeah, it's scary as fuck
We
too.
have y'all already
Yeah,
encountered any
it
racing
was.
snakes around here?
Any what?
Racer snakes.
Racer snakes.
Yeah,
they'll
They're
chase
considered
you.
racer snakes because they're one of the fastest snakes in this environment.
Are you
They'll
talking about the
chase you.
striped ones?
Yeah, and they'll chase you.
They look kind of like garden snakes.
Kind of.
Yeah,
they're
or a
kind of
black
like a black snake, but
Yeah.
they have stripes on them, and they're really fast.
Gray stripe.
Really?
And
Are
they'll
they
chase you.
poisonous?
No,
I think
no.
that there's a way to
They more-
determine like the stripes on how they're poisonous.
Yeah, well,
If they're diamond shaped, then it's venomous. If it's
Yeah.
stripes, it's more non-venomous.
Yeah, well, the diamonds are the diamondback, more than likely like a diamondback rattlesnake. most
Oh
of the time.
yeah.
Rattlesnake or the copperheads kind of have like a diamond effect to them.
Yeah, but they're red and brown,
brown.
and
They
they
look
look.
like
Oh
leaves.
yeah.
They look like
Nah,
leaves. You see
they
a
do
pile of
look
leaves.
pretty badass though.
They do. They're really cool.
They're
looking.
very,
They are
very
really cool.
chameleons too, because
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of
Yeah.
copperheads that you could never even tell.
Yeah,
if
those
you didn't
pictures
know
that
it
go
was a
around on
copperhead.
like
Oh, yeah,
Facebook or
most
social
definitely.
media, where it's like you see the copperhead here, and it's like you zoom in, you're like, I don't see it. Then you go in the comments, you're like, Yeah, I'd be dead.
Yeah, I mean that's that's
I'd
a
be
lot.
dead.
That's how they strike, and that's why people get caught off guard by shit like that, and they never even know what got them.
Well,
and that's how they kill.
Yeah, most reptiles kind of like take in some of their environment. They're
Well,
like
what a
their
lot of people
genetics
don't realize
are
is
just built for their environment.
Their sense of smell comes by their body. You know what I'm saying? Like you see
Who?
like snakes and shit, they slither their tongue.
What snakes?
Any snake, how
Oh,
they
all of
slither
them?
their tongue, it's a way for them to smell instead of like us. We sniff. They slither their tongue out to smell.
Oh yeah. That
or
is
like
true.
Lizards, their body, it almost looks like they're breathing heavy all the time, but that's how they tell their environment.
Well, that's kind of like the same thing with dogs too. Like whenever they're breathing,
It's like
they're
40 times the smell that we have. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And dogs, they don't know a person by sight. They know a person by their smell.
Oh yeah.
That's why you see those videos where people are like, I left my dog for 6 months, and the dog sees them, and they still don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
They go up and smell them, and they freak out. That's why. Yeah,
Oh,
dog knows you by smell, not by
wow.
sight.
I really didn't know that.
every
What
human's
the
got like a
fuck?
distinct
I'm learning everything
smell.
on here.
Yeah, every human. Fun fact, dude. I love fun facts.
Like pheromones.
yeah, every person has a
Exactly.
distinct smell. Like,
Well, you know what? Like I think that women have a different pheromone too.
yeah, well, they say too, like pheromone wise, like between men and women, if a woman smells really, it's actually like biologically, like it's like you have like compatible like blood types or something shit.
That's why
Really?
like you have
Yeah.
in typical like other colognes, a musk is the more prominent cologne because it's not necessarily a perfume or a cologne. It's more of a flavor. Like it's a smell that is compatible to people. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure. Well, a lot of those really expensive colognes have pheromones in
Yeah,
it.
pheromones.
Like
Pheromone.
the cologne that I have in there, they have pheromones and like Spice Bomb.
okay, so I went to a funeral one
Yeah.
time and I kept smelling this smell that it wasn't necessarily like I was attracted to, but like
Smelled good.
I was just like, what the fuck is that smell? And then my homeboy that was wearing it or whatever, like I dapped him up and I was like, there it is. And he was like, yeah, bro, I just spent like $350 on this Saint Laurent cologne.
Bro,
Good
that
God.
shit's good.
Yeah, and it'd
Tom
be a regular
Ford.
fucking bottle of fucking cologne, and it'd be like, damn, bro, like how could I point you out of anybody in the room because you got this musk on?
It's just such nice cologne, bro. Like a lot
Drake
of those are
has
so
his own
expensive.
signature cologne called Carby Musk.
I know somebody told me about that. I think
was
that maybe
me.
it was you. Yeah.
You can't get the fragrance online. Like you can't get the cologne
You
at
gotta
all.
go in
Nobody
store.
can buy it. You can't even buy it in
Wow.
the store.
Oh, it's probably all
The
scalped
only
and
way
then
he
people resell
sells
that
it, he
shit.
sells
Yeah.
it in a candle.
In a
There's a
candle?
candle.
Oh,
with
gotta buy
that
and
is
burn
right.
it.
You
Yep.
did tell me
and
about
the
that
candle
shit.
is $500.
Good God. And then people scalp it and then they sell it for $1,000 and people buy that shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. That's
A
what happens with a lot of
$500
shoes
candle.
too.
Oh, yeah. Shoes, anything you can try to make a buck off that's
Oh,
limited.
man.
And even weirdly enough, Pokemon cards
Have you
and
seen
shit
that
like that.
Pokemon
fucking
cards?
Lil Yachty just
Yes.
dropped? He did a collab with Air Force One,
Yeah, so those shoes
Yeah.
probably were.
and
There was like a
everybody was talking
lawsuit.
shit about it because
nobody could get them probably. They got all
all
scalped.
he did on it was he put his brand logo on it.
Yeah.
and it was a regular Air Force One with his logo on it.
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "What's the difference between this and a regular Air Force One?
got his
This doesn't
logo.
change the culture
Well,
at all."
bro, that's literally the same fucking thing with Supreme. The
Yeah,
Supreme
let's put
Air
Slap
Force
Supreme.
One.
Yeah, this
Bro,
Slap Supreme on
the only thing
everything,
they
and
changed
it's-
on the Supreme Air Force
Seriously.
Ones is the fucking lace ends and the fucking tongue.
That's it, and it has
And the back
Supreme
piece.
on.
The
It has
back
Supreme
piece.
Yeah.
on the back.
There's all sorts of random shit they're slapping Supreme on
Yep,
and selling for
but
$500.
to be fair,
and shit,
though-
you know?
Seriously,
Supreme doesn't sell their collab with those brands for much more than what the brands sell them for.
yeah, but yeah,
Like
yeah.
the Air Force Ones, you might spend $120 on, but the regular Air Force Ones are $99.99.
Yeah, but
No,
the thing is,
that's
too, is if
true.
you can get a hold of them at retail price.
Exactly,
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
That's
the name
another
brand
thing with
itself is what brings the hype to it.
But,
because
yeah,
if I only got to spend an extra
exactly.
$20 to get the Supreme ones,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get the Supreme ones beyond the fucking
But the
basic
chances
ones.
of getting them too is
Most-
people sitting on the computers
seriously.
with bots and they just
Yeah.
buy them as soon as they come
and
out.
then they buy
like the fucking
literally.
Yeezy shit on
Yeah.
Adidas.
Just like whenever the PlayStation 5 came out.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 when we were during COVID, like graphics cards for
It was
computers, people were
the
scalping
retail price
shit
was
out
$500
of
or
them.
$600, and people were selling them for $1,000 a piece.
Yeah,
I know.
and they were selling them all day.
I
every
know
day.
a few people that actually sold them too.
Yeah,
For real. And I know a few people that bought them too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you're
my
idiot
neighbor
for
that
buying
lives
them.
behind me was just selling one for $200 because they were moving out or whatever. But it just goes to show you the actual value.
You know, and you also see this a lot whenever you go to like football games. I've seen this shit at a Panthers game one time.
Oh yeah, like
actually
fake jerseys
every time.
and shit. Yeah, fake jerseys, T-shirts, and concerts, tickets. The scalp tickets.
Bro,
Yeah.
Yep. My first time ever going to an NFL game, I didn't get into it because we were tailgating. But it was a bunch of people and vendors on the side that were trying to sell us tickets that were supposed to be $150, $200 for like $60. And we were like, hell yeah, like these guys are, the game's about to go on here in like an hour. Like we can buy these tickets for $80, $60. And it's like, you get in the game. Nah. I mean, realistically you can, but at the same time, that's how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The longer that it's hyped up, the more the prices are going to be. Like for my birthday, we're going to go tailgating because I know I'm not buying the tickets right now.
No,
but the Panthers are playing the
game's stupid
Cowboys.
high.
In order to get medium level tickets, you're gonna have to spend $250 or more,
Which is
and it's just
stupid.
because they're playing the
Cowboys.
Panther or the
It's
Cowboys.
crazy.
Yeah, they're playing the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys are not a good team right now.
No, since
but
Dak
before
brought
the
some
season
shit.
started, they were a good team, so it would have been money that. And a lot of Cowboys fans are everywhere, so it's America's team, so they're gonna
that's it,
sell
too.
more.
It's America's team.
So instead, we're gonna pay the tailgate. 9 times out of 10, we're gonna end up spending more money to tailgate.
Yeah, and then we probably would have spent going.
Yeah,
to the
but
game,
at the same
it's
time,
a lot
it's
more
just like
fun.
inflation is so much. You'd rather spend the money to tailgate than spending money to sit in the stands because there's nothing that's going to change that experience because you got inflation like fucking a pretzel's $8.
You got inflation like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you buy
Yeah,
beer.
you get a regular beer for $15 when you could buy a whole case of beer down the street for $15 and get 6 of them.
Yeah, or the tall boys is most of what they buy. You know, you're $15-$16 for a tall boy, and then you go outside and go to a gas station across the street, 2 for $5.
2 tall boys for
Seriously.
$5.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've actually found out that, you know, eating out every day isn't actually as, like, it's not
more expensive than eating
that
at home.
much more expensive than
No,
it is.
and I
If
don't
you're
have to,
doing it
I don't
by
have to
yourself.
prepare it, and I don't have to
Exactly.
clean up. I don't have to
And
do
there's
all this extra
the convenience.
shit. And the
Bro,
time I would invest.
I was
in
just
one of the greatest
explaining to my
stores
doctor
making
that
it.
shit because she was telling me
Literally.
that part of the reason why I'm not as healthy as I should be is because I eat out all the time and I consume toxic shit. But at the same time,
It's so
I don't like to clean
convenient.
fucking dishes and I don't like to clean up my mess and I don't like to wait on my fucking food. So why not pay $1 or $2 more?
Yeah, for right then convenience.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I'm with it. I'm most definitely with it.
We've definitely fit into America's
I
realm
wonder
of
if
being
anything's
lazy.
gonna. I really wonder if any big things are really gonna change.
Like
whenever
that RFK shit.
Yeah,
I hope
because
so.
he's gonna be over. I think that he's gonna be over
Like
the
he's
NIH.
almost gonna reverse
Isn't that
the
what it's
whole
called?
yeah, but he's almost gonna reverse the whole fucking like Michelle Obama pandemic
School
shit.
food shit.
Maybe.
Like, so many people hate that shit. Even the kids hate it.
Bro.
The parents hate it.
I
the schools
got
hate
to
it.
I was in one of
You
the
know,
I was in one of those ages where I got to visually see it change. Like I was in elementary school, like 7 or 8 years old when Obama got elected, and before we had strawberry milk, cinnamon rolls, fucking cookies.
Well, you know, all that shit's bad for you.
Yeah, it is, but it's all in moderation too. Obviously,
But they
the
tried
whole
to say
fucking
that
pack of cookies is bad.
it
but
was
one
a
with
part of the
lunch
aspect of
as
like
a kid, you know.
lower age
For
obesity, but they don't change the BMI metric system at all. Like I think it's like they change it every 7 years or some shit like that. So like we're fitting in the BMI spectrum of kids that actually lived off of home cooked meals and shit
Yeah.
like that, which wasn't necessarily bad at all.
No.
But like they're not making it to fit like kids. Like for me, if you was to put me on a scale and shit and weigh my BMI, I would be obese.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Technically, yeah. Technically, yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I would say maybe I am
would be
obese,
too.
But at the same time, are we really obese?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we kind of fit in that middle
Compared to what?
compared to everything else.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, like, are we really obese compared to what? Like, how do you measure obesity?
And that's what I'm saying.
You're
They take
fat,
the average
your-
body weight.
yeah, your
They take
average
the
body
average
weight,
BMI
height.
between
Yeah.
people between a certain time and year and shit. But they only upgrade it every 7 to 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So we're looking at times from 7 to 10 years ago based on how everybody's living in this day and age.
Yeah,
and
but I don't think
different.
that it's just about that.
No,
I think that
for
it's
sure
about
not.
the health aspect of it.
Yeah, for
like,
sure
you
not.
know, maybe there's standards as to which people
But
will,
more or less
you know,
than regulating that, you should
People will
benefit
say-
how they can control it.
Yeah, I think that there's, I think that there's different ways to, look about.
Yeah, if anything, instead of like taking away or giving people certain shit, maybe you should teach them what affects them, because you can't keep.
Well, I'm saying
while I'm at school, you can control what I eat and consume and what's healthy for me or not. But once I go home, if I don't know the difference, I'm gonna eat some fucking cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna eat some fucking chips and
the problem
Takis
the problem
and shit
is
like
that a lot of the toxins in our food is illegal. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, most of our food overseas is illegal to sell to have.
If the toxins that people eat are illegal, and then that means that
We
the
won't
people
get it.
aren't going to put it into the food, because then there's going to be a vetting process for the food that it has to go through, and if it doesn't pass the inspection,
So do you think
then it's
before
not
we
going to
had
be able to
food
go
regulations, like when Michelle
So then-
Obama came around, do you think that was the issue before?
I don't
And she
really
was trying to
know,
fix
because
that?
I don't. I've always I've always thought that it was the whole Michelle Obama changing the school food lunches. I always thought that was
what was
somewhat,
it before then? Because I know
Hold
for
on.
a fact, like we
I
didn't
always
know
thought- I
too
don't
much
know.
because we were very young.
I always
had
thought
that
that was somewhat of a good idea, though,
Yeah.
to put that for the kids, because if the kids, sometimes that
Do
might
you
be
feel
their
like
only
that was
lunch.
important because
And I
like you
think-
were living in it at that
I was
time?
just saying. I'm just saying that I think that it was a healthier alternative from my perspective, and I could be wrong. There was a healthier alternative than what they was giving them to
I was
begin
getting ready to
with.
say, like when I was in high school, there was a pizza line, chicken tenders. You had a salad bar line. You can go get a giant ass salad.
You
Well,
had
we had
options.
that too. We still had
like
that
it's
too.
options. It's your choice.
Yeah, but
you know?
Yeah.
we still did
But
have that,
forcing it
but
down your
every
throat-
option was a healthy option
Yeah,
to
but
us.
But they but
You think so?
shoving
Yeah,
it
like
down
they
your
make
throat is
gluten
what
free
people don't
fucking
like.
biscuits, and like in the morning it was whole grain biscuits, whole grain bread.
We had school pizza at the
we had
breakfast.
French bread dunkers, but we had whole grain French
Oh,
bread
God, they
dunkers. We
fucked up
had
French
like
bread dunkers.
we had buttermilk ranch
messed
instead
up.
of regular ranch. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I see
different.
what you're saying.
Well, it's good to have those different alternatives, but I still feel like it should be a choice.
That's what I mean. If it's
Because you
shoved
should
down your
teach-
throat,
you should teach them the difference between what they're consuming and what they should be consuming, and instead of forcing somebody to do this because it fits.
Well, the
this
kids are
agenda.
also going to only gravitate to the things that they like as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is going to be a healthier option, it's probably going to be shut down because the kids aren't going to like the healthier option because they just don't like the way that
And
it tastes.
I feel like
So
that's
then
part of
they're
the
not
reason why
gonna-
I don't like the agenda that it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
them pushing that.
because
well, that's it. If it's forced down
Oh,
So
your throat,
it's forced
nobody
to,
likes
like
it.
instead of
Yeah.
it being forced, I feel like it should be
An option.
a learned option.
Yeah.
Like instead of us telling you this is what you need to consume to benefit you,
I think
we're
that
going
I-
to teach you that this is what
Yeah.
benefits you and give you
This
the
is-
option
this is
to
gonna
choose
help
that.
you,
I think
and
that I
choose
agree.
it.
I think that I agree
Because
with that. But
we
if
pay
it's-
for schooling in all levels, whether it
Yeah.
be private or public.
But if it's free, I think that That
If it's
it
free,
was-
it should be controlled.
it-
It has every
yeah.
reason to be.
I think
Because it's
so.
not your
And
choice at that point. You don't pay.
just for it to be a good yet healthy meal.
Yeah, like you could have, something bad and then two
Yeah.
good things on there too,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an apple and some green beans, and then you got like, a slice of pizza.
Yeah, like
Hell yeah.
It's
That's
like
what I'm
we
saying.
give you a choice of options, but most of the options are going to be good, and only the portions that you worry about are going to be options. So like,
Yeah.
choose your bad options if you want to, but you're going to have to take some good
Yeah.
options with
Get
it.
a
You know
whole
what
ass
I mean?
salad as your main entree, but get a little
Along
peach
with
cobbler
you
at
being
the end.
taught
Yeah,
that
like
not
that.
only do you get this, but you are taught that this is the way it should be. Because even my doctor, she was like, "Oh, you like pizza and eating out and shit. I like to do that too, and I'm not going to tell you to quit that, but I want you to try to eat healthier throughout the week and reward yourself with eating pizza or
That's-
eating
Yeah.
a burger or something like that, because you can't completely cut that out."
No,
Yeah.
you can't. That's the reason I had Cadoba a lot up in Wilkesboro. It's literally rice, beans, chicken.
And like it tastes good as ever.
it's good. It's
and
awesome.
when you do cheat, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're cheating. You're just
No.
eating something different.
I was like, Jess, the girlfriend, 1 week she stayed on her very strict diet, ate all the things she did. She lost 2 pounds. The next week she stayed on her diet, but she like one day we went to Rockin' Oven. Yeah, we ate salad and you had pizza and then beer and stuff like that.
Nothing changes as long as
she lost 8 pounds that week.
Whoa.
Because
that's wild.
It's
as long
not
as your
only a
calories are under for the day.
It's not a health setting, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you're consistently worrying about doing what's right,
have
doing
your cheat
what's
day.
wrong, and I'm not gonna say that doing what's wrong because it's easy for somebody to overindulge in that. But like,
well, that's what I told her too. Is like you gotta give yourself those little things. Like you're trying to cut out sugar completely, you're gonna break, and when you break, you're gonna eat so much sugar.
Well, like if you give yourself an excuse to cut it out for so long, once you give yourself the excuse to
you
have
eat the whole ass cheesecake.
overindulge.
Yeah, instead of eating one slice of
Tie it
cheesecake
with honey
tonight.
mustard.
With sauce, like either you cut sauce completely out, or have sauce still, but at the same time, make it important to yourself to not have sauce.
Man, this shit's making me hungry.
Or just do like it's like okay, I'm gonna hit this
That's
one.
what I'm saying.
This
It's
one.
making you
This
hungry,
one sauce packet's gonna last me the entire meal.
Right.
I thought he was gonna say the
wanna
entire
get healthy
week, and I was
get in the
like,
gym
no,
and
God,
shit. And
no,
like
the entire meal.
This week we got fucking Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, so
it's almost
everybody's-
impossible
It's almost
to eat
not
healthy.
impossible to eat and overindulge this week. It's
Shout out
really
to
about
Thanksgiving.
eating food. Yeah, Thanksgiving deviled eggs,
Double Thanksgiving.
deviled eggs.
But I've heard and seen of some people like they know what time is coming around and they want to, so they take pride into overindulging in what's good for them. So when they do make that choice on that one particular day of the month to overindulge, it doesn't affect them completely. It's just saying, "Oh, I don't give a fuck. Thanksgiving's coming up, so I'm not gonna make a change. I'm just gonna wait till after."
You can still make a change, and like I told her, like throughout the week, eat, as long as your caloric intake is lower than what you than what you burn.
Like some people,
you're
for the
good.
entire week, they're like, Thanksgiving this week, I'm gonna overindulge and eat all week long. Like, why would you do that when you can eat healthy until it's time for you to camaraderie and enjoy the things that you like?
Man,
But
fuck all that.
You're like other people. It's so easy to say like, like it's not no big deal. I'll worry about it later. And then we get to the age of 40 and 50 and it becomes a problem. And we think like, damn, I wish I would have chose to worry about myself eating clean or taking care of myself a lot more than just saying like, oh, I'm young or like I got more life to live and this is not an issue right now.
I think that if really though, if RFK Jr., not just RFK Jr., but if somebody actually stepped in and was like, if we can get rid of the things that are causing terrible health problems,
like the cancers
people.
and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Now it's really epidemic
Like
now.
you are with receipts.
And then weirdly enough, autism and other things like that have really climbed since the last 20 years, 30 years.
People are oblivious of the
I think that
chemicals we're
facts
putting
that
in our
we
body.
have of chemicals. And then like even age, like I feel like some people disregard that the older you get, the harder it is to carry on things. And they put that to the side and they're like, oh, I'm young, I can live this life, and when I'm old I can relish in this. And then they have a birth defect or they have things that are benefited to the side effect of that they're not healthy anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for somebody that wants longevity to emphasize the things that are going to keep them here for a long time.
Yeah.
What the fuck is you yawning for, nigga?
He getting tired.
I'm getting tired.
How long we been on here?
We've been on here. We can wrap this up, man. 57 minutes and 43 seconds.
Damn. Feels like it's been about 15, 20 minutes, honestly.
On my body. Peace out, Girl Scout. Remember, everybody hates to love. Everybody love to hate, but they hate to love.
Wait, hold on, bro. We didn't introduce our guest.
We got T with us, aka Travion.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Travion is
got-
crazy.
What's up, guys? We had fun today.
We got Travion
Yeah.
in the building.
We had fun. We were
And-
supposed to introduce the guest before we
Yeah.
started, but we didn't. So y'all get it after. Y'all see his name. Y'all know the game.
If you got a little wee wee, nigga, it don't matter, nigga.
It don't.
You gotta use what you got
Gotta use what
Oh,
you got,
God.
always.
and keep God in your life.
That's right.
Always.
Just remember,
Remember this.
niggas hate to love and they love to hate.
Every time. I know they do.
I'm out.
We out of here.
All right. Later, fellas.